Today we're bringing you an oldie but a goodie with a G.I. Joe Classified series rebuilding the collection video. This time we're looking at number 22, Cobra Island, Cobra Viper, on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, action figure fans? Way I Got It Figured back with another G.I. Joe Classified review. This time we're going back into the archives to review the Cobra Viper number 22, part of the Target exclusive Cobra Island line, Special Missions Cobra Island. I got this figure, pretty good deal on it from my buddy Phil at Crossfire Collectibles. He had more than he needed, so he decided to donate one to the Way I Got It Figured collection. I wanted to get this video out before I did the Viper 3-pack video. So we're going to look at the original Viper, and we're going to compare him with the Python Patrol Viper. And somewhere down the road, when I get through all these other reviews I got to do, we'll get to the Viper 3-pack. But for now, we're going to do like we always do. We're going to look at the packaging, accessories, close up look at the figure. We'll compare him with the Viper, and we'll get out of here. Probably not going to do much with articulation because, well, we know what the articulation is. So starting with the packaging, obviously this is the non-plastic packaging, plastic-free packaging. And so we can see everything the Viper comes with. His pistol, rifle, scarf, goggles, and backpack. Then we got our packaging art, which I believe is the same, if not very similar to the Viper 3-pack packaging. And then on the back, we've seen this before. Got our Cobra Island back. And then we've got number 22, and we've got our stat sheet, stat card, file card, 1 infantry, 2 light weapons, 1 hand-to-hand combat, 1 night fighting. That's what this one's got. I think it's a little different on the Python Viper, but there you go. So let's get the Viper out and examine him in detail. All right, so we've got our Viper on the turntable with his accessories. Like we always do, we want to go over each of those in turn, get you a couple of rotations of 360 view. To discuss the Viper a little bit, initially came out in 1986 and was an instant hit amongst me and my G.I. Joe playing buddies. Really liked how they sort of gave him all this high-tech equipment and showed how Cobra was spending lots of money to get the best troops. And the Viper was definitely a favorite. In terms of this figure, though, like I said, it came as a part of the Special Missions Cobra Island wave of G.I. Joe classified. And here's his stuff. So of course he comes with his weird combat rifle that I always will say I wish they just made the one from 1986. For some reason they don't want to do that. They want to make these other types of weapons, and that weapon wasn't based on any real weapon anyway. And then here's the standard sort of Nerf gun type pistol that many G.I. Joe Classified figures come with. And when I say Nerf gun pistol, I don't want it to sound necessarily negative, because, well, G.I. Joe has always had sci-fi type weapons in it from day one. Then here's the backpack, nicely painted. Some, you know, they didn't just make it a flat black. It's got like a kind of a blue thing going on here. And the Cobra symbol, grenades or smoke bombs or whatever these happen to be. Pretty decent backpack. It's also different than the 1986 one, and that's okay. Of course, you get this scarf. Goes around his neck, neckerchief. And you get the goggles, which are not really painted on here on this version, but the Python Patrol version did get painted goggles, but that's okay. So this is the original goggles. And then getting a closer up look at our Viper. So you got this combat vest, which is, you know, pretty standard for that era of G.I. Joe Classified, where, you know, it's gonna impede his overall articulation because it, you know, totally blocks all of this. So he's not gonna be able to do too much ab crunching or going back. But the details are nice. He's got a little red t-shirt on. And he's looking pretty awesome. Nice paint apps throughout. Not really a whole lot of errors. We got the accurate inseam kind of weirdness going on there. Very nice figure. And I'll do some articulation. Why not? He can do all of that. He can do all of that. He's got drop down legs, as all G.I. Joe Classified figures do. He's got the boot cut and the ankle swivels. He can't look up very far because of the vest, but he can look down pretty good. And there you go. So next we'll get him geared up, and then we'll do some comparisons. Okay, so we got our Viper geared up on the turntable this time. All of his accessories in their right place. And it looks pretty cool. I like the neckerchief, even though they didn't give it to the Python Viper. And I did lament that in my review for that figure. But, you know, in a sense it does differentiate it. I can also see maybe giving this one to the Python Viper. I don't know, we'll see. Not necessary. This looks great as it is. And everything's, you know, other than that, is exactly the same. If you have multiples, of course, you can have some of them without the goggles, maybe one without the, you know, this sort of gives you that option for customization. Maybe this guy doesn't wear the goggles. Maybe this guy doesn't wear the scarf. Maybe one of them doesn't wear either, you know, just to give them a little bit different look if you have them in a group. And I did, you know, for my part, I did at one point have 6 of these, but I had to do what I had to do. But luckily they came out with the Viper 3-pack, so, you know, you kind of re-army build them, and this time I even get the Viper Officer to boot. But for now, this one will work, and it's a solid figure. It always was. Nothing's really changed. So let's bring in the Python Viper. So here they are together. Looking really good. The Python Viper I was not going to get, as I'm sure I mentioned in my video on it, but for $12.99, you know, $11.99, you know, what was I gonna do? The price was right, so I went ahead and bought them. I try not to get all these weird color variants, or, you know, lazy repaints, as I like to call them. And not that the Python Viper doesn't have a historical precedent, but, you know, even back then, I mean, the Python Patrol probably was the original lazy repaints of G.I. Joe. Yeah, they sort of gave them a thing like, oh, they're Pythonized, so they got anti-radar technology in their outfits and all of that, you know, but as a practical matter, they were just repaints. But there you go. They look nice together, look nice apart. I don't really think this one is necessary. I think this one is more necessary. But again, for the price, I wasn't going to turn it down. So there you go. Now get the final thoughts on the Viper. All right, final thoughts on G.I. Joe Classified Series number 22. Special Missions Cobra Island, Cobra Viper. This figure, it's a great figure. Always loved it. Was very happy to have all the ones that I had, but, you know, financial things prevailed, and so I was forced to make some moves. So I'm glad to have this one back in my collection, and he hasn't really, you know, gotten any worse. I'm gonna give this figure a 9 out of 10. I'd probably give it a 10 because I really do love the Vipers, but the lack of articulation, just because of the vest, you know, it kind of hurt the articulation. You don't get a perfect posable action figure out of it, so, you know, I'll strike him for that. I'll give him a 9, but still a great figure, awesome figure. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. I got more G.I. Joe Classified Series, more G.I. Joe content coming throughout the rest of G.I. Joe June. It's not gonna just be classified. A lot of it will be, but not all of it. So if you're new to the channel, please tune in, see what else I got cooking. And if you're already a member, please keep watching. In the meantime, everybody out there, stay safe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.
The way I got it figured.